Hello guys, first of all I welcome you all to interview question series, and we are seeing some Tableau related interview question, right? And we are in the set work, so let's continue that trend of seeing the Tableau related interview questions. And here we go. So the first question we have for the day is, how can we see the SQL generated queries in the Tableau desktop? Okay, first of all we can see the SQL generated query in the Tableau desktop, and which is placed under something like this connection C colon users, then my documents. In the my Tableau repository you will find those files. First of all, if your connection is live connection, then you can go ahead with the log.txt or tabprotosurf.txt. These are the two files you need to check in order to get that SQL generated queries. But in the case of extract connection, you have to check that tdserver.txt. Clear? So these file you need to check depending on your connection, whether it is a live and whether it is a extract. And this is the way you can see the SQL generated query in the Tableau desktop. Clear? Next question we have for the day. If the owner of published workbook license expires, then can other users see those workbook? Okay, if the owner of the published workbook license expires, then the user role will be changed to unlicensed, right? Then user cannot access this workbook, but others can access this one, and only the admins can change the ownership of this workbook, right? So if the owner published workbook license expired, then it is titled to unlicensed, and also he can't access this workbook, only the others can access and see that workbook. Also the admin is responsible for changing those ownership. Clear? Next question, can we remove all options from Tableau auto filter? Okay, first of all, yes, we can remove all options from the Tableau auto filter. How? So for that we need to go to the segment filter, click on the small drop down arrow you got there, and go to the customize, right? Once you're in the customize, then a small drop box is there under the customize, and uncheck all option there. So this is how you can just remove all options from the Tableau auto filter. Clear? Next, which one is better, extract or live connections? Okay, first of all, extract and lives are the connection type in the SQL in the Tableau where we fetch the data, right? Extract connection is better than the live connection because extract connection can be used from anywhere, anytime, without connecting to databases. We can construct our own visualization on it irrespective of the database connection. So extract connection is always better than the live connection. Clear? Next question we have for the day. Tell me something about the workbook version controlled in the Tableau. Okay, so versioning of the workbooks can be done in two ways in the Tableau. Okay, so the first way is at the desktop level. You can keep copies of your changes and files or using third-party system like Microsoft TFS. And the second way is at the server level, okay, where you can publish the data source and version will be saved in the revision history on the Tableau server or online. So reverting to the previous version is also possible there. First of all, so there are two ways we can just do the versioning of the files, desktop level and server level. Clear? Next, where can we apply global filters? Okay, so the global filter can be applied to a sheet, stories and dashboard. First of all, global filter available globally means what? If you have a 3-4 sheets are there for visualization, one dashboard sheet is there and one story sheet is there, then you can add one global filter which applies to all of these stories, dashboards and sheets. Clear? That's why their name is a global filter. Next, how to add a custom color in Tableau? Okay, to add a custom color in Tableau we need to follow 3 steps. Okay, the first step is generate a custom color code and create it in preferences.tps, right? Then navigate to documents. In the documents you will find my table repository, and in that you will find the preferences.tps file, and in that preferences.tps file you add that custom generated color code. That's how you can generate the custom color in the table. Clear? Next question we have, can we create cascading filters without using the context filter? Okay, yes, first of all we can create the cascading filters without using the context filter. Cascading filters means filter 2 value are dependent on the filter 1 value. For example, filter 1 is a country, and if we select India for filter 1, filter 2 value should show all the Indian states. This feature can achieve by using an option only relevant values. So this is how we can just create some cascading filters without using the context filter, right? Next question we have for the day, how can we display the top and bottom 5 records in a single Tableau view? To achieve this, okay, to achieve the top 5 and bottom 5 records showing in the single visualization, we can create the two views, right? The first view which contain top 5 record, a second view which contain the bottom 5 records, and the view 3 also we want to create, in which we join the view 1 and view 2. This thing can be achieved in the other way also. In the other way, we can just create two sets, in which first set is totally contains the top 5 records, set 2 contains bottom 5 records, and by combining set 1 and set 2, which is a combined set feature, combining set 1 and 2, we can show it in the visualization. Clear? So that is how we can just show top 5 and bottom 5 records in the Tableau view. Next, state a few charts which we should not use with a valid reason. Okay, so there are many charts available in the Tableau, and there are many customized charts you can build with respect to the Tableau. Okay, so below are the few charts we should avoid in order to get the better performance. So first of all, 3D chart. Visual representation of a numbers in 3D chart will be skewed, and it makes it difficult to compare and analyze. Then pie chart. Pie charts are not that much accurate as a bar charts. In pie chart we have areas and angles to compare instead of length in the bar chart. Areas and angle cannot be analyzed with ease. Okay, then we have a variant of pie chart which is a donut chart. This is the same as pie chart, but here we have a hole in the middle to make it look like a donut. Due to that hole, we need to compare arc length with the other arc to analyze the values. Comparing arc length is also difficult task for our eyes. So that's why we should avoid the 3D chart, pie and donut chart, right? So the ease of analysis is not there with respect to this chart. Clear? Next question we have for the day, do we have any way to handle the null values in Tableau? Okay, Tableau cannot plot null values on axis, so it will display an indicator at a lower right corner of the view. Once you click on that indicator, you have an option to handle null values. Below are the options are available to handle the null values. First option is filter the data. If you choose this option, null values will be filtered out from the view. Second option is show data at the default position. Okay, it replaces the values with the default value and shows the data at the default position on axis. These default values depend on the data type of the field, and below here are the default and specific data type we have for the null values, such as if the null value is the number type, then it will displayed as a 0. If it is a date, then null value displayed as this type of date, right? If the null value is geographic location, then it will display as a 0 and 0. If it is the null value is -1, so negative values are there, then it is be -1. Clear? So these are the default values we have when you don't want to show the null values. Next question we have, do we have any data limitation in Tableau public? Yes, there is a limitation of data in Tableau public. Tableau public can allow only 10 million rows to user for a data visualization. Clear? So this is the data limit we have with respect to the Tableau public, but not in the Tableau paid version, right? Next question we have for the day, can we download views or workbooks from the server? If yes, in which data format? We can download views or workbooks from the server, but data formats are available to us depend on the permission granted by the administrator or content owner. Images can be .png format and data can be in CSV format, comma separated value format. We can also download the selected sheet into the PDF format, but while generating PDF, web page object won't be included. So these need to be taken care of with respect to downloading the data format from the Tableau server. Next, can we use unsaved columns that are not used in the reports, but data source has a columns in the Tableau filter? Okay, so yes, we can use unused column in the Tableau filters. Let us consider one example here. In data source, I have column like employee ID, employee name, employee salary, employee department, employee designation, but in reports I am using only employee name in columns and employee salary in the rows. I can still use employee designation on the filter. So we can use unused column in the Tableau filters as well. Okay, so next question we have for the day, what is the benefit of Tableau extract file over the live connection? Okay, so extract file can be used without any connections, and you can build your own visualization without connecting to the database, and that's the huge benefit with respect to the extract file over the live connection we have. Next, how many tables joins are possible in the Tableau? So there are in total 32 table joins are possible in the Tableau. Okay, so next question we have for the day, can we place an Excel file in the shared location and use it to develop a report and refresh it in a regular interval? Yes, we can place an Excel file in a shared location and we can use it to develop a report, but for better performance we need to do the extract file feature, right? Next question we have for the day, how do we do testing in Tableau? Okay, we can do testing in Tableau by using the tools, and the easiest way to do that is using the desktop application. We need to check it before we publish it on the Tableau server. So first of all, we build whole thing in the Tableau desktop and then we test it, and then we will just load it into the Tableau server. This is how we can just do testing in the with respect to the Tableau we have. Next, can we get values from two different sources as a single input into a parameter? Okay, Tableau currently not supported multi-valued parameter. As Tableau parameters are not dynamic, we cannot filter the list of value at runtime. So parameters only takes one value at a time, not the list of values. Okay, next question we have, design a view in a map such that if a user select any state, the cities under that state have to show profit and sales. So this is called these questions come under one of the practical use cases of the Tableau. And how can we do that? If you want to show the profit and sales of each and every cities under the state in the same worksheet, then follow the few steps. Okay, the data which you want to display under the state must be in the same worksheet first of all. Then double click on the state field, drag the city and drop it under the state, mark a card, drop the sales and drag the sales and drop it into size, drag the profit and drop it into a color, click on the size legend and increase the size 75%, give a right click on the state field and select show filter. Select state and check whether you got the required view or not. In the view, size indicates the sales and color indicates the profit of the respective state which we have selected, and that's how we can just solve these question. Clear? Next question we have for the day: how can you set permission or protect the data in Tableau public? Tableau does not have any security permissions or to protect the data in the Tableau public. Whatever we shared in the Tableau public, those files, workbooks can be viewed by all users. There is no security option in the Tableau public. So it's fairly clear, right? Tableau public does not support any security mechanism. So you need to take care while publishing the sensitive data, right? Next question we have for the day: if I delete a workbook from the Tableau public and there are links to other blogs and other application, what happens to them? Okay, the Tableau public is like a repository. If you delete anything in the Tableau public, the data will be lost. Even if the links are in other location and blogs cannot be accessed, we cannot access those links. So this is like a repository. If the connection is lost, everything will be lost. Next question we have: mention whether you can create a relational joins in the Tableau without creating a new table. Yes, we can create the relational joins in the Tableau without creating the new table, right? Next question we have: when publishing the workbook on Tableau online, sometimes an error about needing to extract appears. Why does it happens occasionally? It happens when the user is trying to publish the workbook which is connected to the internal or local server, that means the company's network. So that's why this error is commonly happen with respect to publishing the data online. Next, can parameters have a drop down list? Yes, parameters have their own drop down list which enables the users to view the data in entries which are available in the parameter during the creations. Okay, next question we have for the day: how do you optimize the performance of the dashboard? Minimize the number of fields. This is the first way to optimize the performance of the dashboard. Minimize the number of records, then reduce marks data points in your view, remove unneeded dimensions, then reuse the number of filters or reduce the number of filters we have, use include filter, use a continuous data filter, use action filter and parameters, and reduce the number of nested calculations, remove custom SQL fields, and last one is a clean up your workbooks. So these are the some of the ways you can optimize the dashboard in the Tableau, right? Next question we have for the day: how to use groups in calculated field? Okay, so the first option is we can create the groups by using the calculated field. Okay, step 1 is to go to the analysis, check in the calculated field. After clicking the calculated field, one dialog box will appear. In that field you just enter your calculation and click OK. Here is the example or the code you write in that dialog box. If something like container is my one field or column and it's comparing if it is a jumbo box, then mark it as a big container, right? And elsewhere you write some of the conditions here and respective outputs are there, and we will just end this if statement. And the above calculation, once we click OK, then resulted into the these many categories we will just define into the above function. Clear? Option 2 is create a set from the group and then use the set in the calculated field. Okay, so we have to right click on the data pane and then select create set. Once we do that, the dialog box will appear, and that you add some calculations and click OK, and the set will be created, and we can use that set to generally see the same thing which we have done using the calculated fields here. Clear? Next, can Tableau be installed on Mac OS? Yes, Tableau can freely available for the Mac OS as well. It's not like a Power BI where you can just access the Power BI only in the Windows operating systems, right? Next, how to automate reports in Tableau? Okay, when we are publishing the reports to a Tableau server, there will be a find an option to schedule the report. Just select the time when you want to refresh the data. So this is how we can just schedule a refresh in the Tableau and also do the automation process there, right? Next question we have for the day: which databases give the best performance when connected live? A native databases gives the best performances when connected to the live than the remote ones, right? Next, what are the challenges faced when working with the huge volume of a data, right? So there are some of the challenges we encountered when we are connected with the huge volume of a data. View running will be slow, data extraction will also be slow, alignment issue with the data, and testing of a data is also cause an issue. That's the issue with respect to connecting with the huge data in the Tableau. Next question we have: state the limitation of context filter in Tableau. Whenever we set a context filter, Tableau generates a temporary table that needs to be replaced each and every time the view is triggered. So if the context filter will be changed, the database need to recompute and rewrite the temporary table, which in turn slows down the performance, and that's the only limitation of context filter we have. Next, what is mark card in Tableau? There is a card in the left of the view where we can drag the fields and control mark properties like color, size, type, shape, detail, label, and tooltip. So the mark card in general just do the modification of existing database visualization object or formatting the database visualization object, right? Define a published data source. The published data source has a connection information in it. It is independent of any workbook and can access by multiple workbooks we have. Next, define a blended axis. Okay, multiple measures can be shared a single axis so that all the marks will be shown in a single pane. We can blend measures by dragging the first measure on one axis and the second on the existing axis. This is how we can just blend the axis in the Tableau. Clear? Then let's go with the next question we have. Define a bullet graph. So bullet graph is a variant of bar graph. It is responsible for comparing the performance of one measure with the other measure, right? What is a Gantt chart? So Gantt chart is the representation of progress with respect to any project management, right? So it shows the progress over the time, and that's why we are using the Gantt chart. And what is the histogram we have? Okay, so histogram shows the distribution of continuous variable, whether it is skewed or not, normally distributed or not. We can gauge all of this statistical thing with respect to the histogram we have, right? The last question for the day. So the last question is, what is Tableau Public? Okay, so the Tableau Public is an open source and free service that allows anyone to publish the data source and visualization to the web. Those visualization can be embedded into blogs or web pages. They can be distributed through email or social media. Moreover, they can be made downloadable by other end users. For Tableau Public, no programming skills are needed. It can be accessed by anyone free of cost. So this is the Tableau Public. It is a free version of Tableau where you can just experiment few of the stuff with respect to the Tableau we have. Okay, so that's it for the session today, guys. We will meet in the next session with the other interview question. Till then, Goodbye.